Here's Who's Dying on Modern Family Season 10. Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Screeny. Modern Family is one of the most lighthearted and offbeat sitcoms on TV right now, but big change is underway. Writers of ABC's hit sitcom recently announced they're ready to kill off one of their major characters during Season 10. Co-creator Christopher Lloyd explained this decision falls in line with a darker tone they're aiming for at the moment. After almost a decade on air, it's time for the family to deal with some bigger life events and some harsh truths, including death. As soon as the news was announced, fans of the show started playing the most morbid game of Guess Who ever, and came up with several pretty reasonable answers. Let's take a look at 10 theories predicting who's dying on Modern Family Season 10. Before we answer the most pressing questions fans of this show are facing right now, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Number 10. Jay Pritchett.
This is Sean, and I want to get this right. Beautiful African name. Sean Mbadaway.
I said, by the way.
After announcing they're getting ready to kill off one of the main characters, Christopher Lloyd also said the new season will bring a significant change in the dynamics of the family. There's nothing that could contribute to this change more than Jay passing away. The patriarch of the Pritchett Dunphy Tucker clan is the glue holding all of them together, and his death would send shockwaves through the whole family. Lloyd's statement isn't the only thing that makes Jay Pritchett the suspect number one. He's also the oldest character in the main cast who repeatedly made jokes about dying or getting older. We've already seen people his age dying on the show, including his sworn enemy Earl Chambers. Their lifelong rivalry was one of the driving forces behind Jay's success, but the owner of Closets still found a way to haunt him from the grave. Earl had some of his ashes delivered to his nemesis, with the message reading that he'll see him in hell. Jay said he's looking forward to it after seeing his note, and some of the fans felt that's the sign that the Pritchett patriarch is ready for his final goodbye. Number 9. Stella the dog.
Ay, Stella, no! Ay, no, Stella, don't do it. Don't kill yourself. You're a perfectly fine dog. I don't hate you.
The lifespan of a French bulldog is extremely limited, and it seems like Stella could be nearing her swan song. It was never stated how old she was when the Pritchetts adopted her from a foolish dog trainer who came to Jay with a ridiculous business proposition. She's been around for 8 years, so it's safe to say her clock is ticking since puppies of her breed usually don't last longer than 10. Some people feel Stella will come out of the Season 10 safe and sound because her death wouldn't be significant enough to shake the foundations of the whole family. Others feel like she's the most logical pick because actually writing out one of the human characters makes zero sense. Even though she's just a pet, Stella's death would still be extremely heartbreaking and lead to another Marley and Me situation. Seeing her pass away would also be a very important learning lesson for little Joe, who's already been shown struggling with the concept of loss. Number 8. Phil Dunphy. Phil Dunphy is the heart and soul of Modern Family, and this show wouldn't be what it is without Ty Burrell's masterful performances. It's highly unlikely he'll be the one to kick the bucket once the season ends, but viewers should prepare for the worst-case scenario, including the death of the most lighthearted character on the show. Seeing Phil die is a long shot because it doesn't make sense from the logical standpoint. Writers are giving all the best lines to Phil, and there isn't anyone else who could deliver them with such ease. Ty Burrell isn't looking for a way out either, since he doesn't have any other major projects lined up at the moment. If this was real life, predicting Phil's death would make much more sense because he has a knack of putting himself in harm's way. His clumsiness combined with his resolution to live his life more dangerously are a recipe for disaster, and sometimes it feels like a miracle that he's still alive. Number 7. Luke Dunphy. Fan theories about the upcoming death of one of the major Modern Family characters mostly include members of the older cast. But that's not stopping Nolan Gold from freaking out. The young actor, who grew up right in front of our eyes as the not-so-bright and accident-prone Luke Dunphy, is pretty sure he's getting fired during Season 10. Nolan joked he immediately called his agent after reading the news, and told him his character is going to end up on the chopping block. He said the writers have been trying to kill him for years because they just hate him, and this was their chance to finish the job. He might be onto something, because Luke's clueless behavior often gets him into trouble, but it seems like he's finally getting his act together. Joking aside, Ghoul's character will probably be safe and sound at the end of the season, and he's hoping the writers will come up with a tasteful way to tackle this particular drama. Number 6. Dylan. Haley's on-again, off-again boyfriend Dylan always had a tendency to pop up at the most unexpected of moments. But at this point in time, it seems like he's back for good. He's once again a part of Haley's main storyline, and the reason why she's on a crossroads. His return put her in an awkward position, because it finally seems he's doing great after years of struggling and actually wants to commit to their relationship. The only problem? Haley is seeing someone else. Writers of the show had a tendency to do whatever they wanted with Dylan in the past, and viewers fear that's not going to change during season 10. There's probably a reason why they showed him finally putting his life back together, so they could tear him down once no one expects it. Despite the fact he's now a nursing student, we wouldn't be surprised to see Dylan make another one of his dim-witted decisions and going back to his old ways. Number 5. Javier Delgado. Modern Family fans come up with some crazy suggestions on who's going to die after hearing the news, and Gloria's ex, Javier Delgado, is one of them. He comes back into Manny's life every now and then, but it wouldn't come as a surprise if he suddenly stopped showing up. Some of the theories suggest that could happen during season 10. Javier's known for his wild nature, but we're yet to see consequences of his irresponsible actions. Could one of his crazy adventures take him to the point of no return? We're yet to find out. Number 4. Claire Dunphy. Claire Dunphy is another long shot, because killing off such an important character would lead to outrage. But writers could easily make it work. She was diagnosed with a heart condition all the way back in season 4, and the issue hasn't resurfaced ever since. Claire always seems like a picture of health, but admitted she's getting out of shape because she's not working out as much as she used to. Writers could easily explore her diagnosis a little bit more in the future episodes, since it's clear Claire is trying to juggle too many things at once. She's constantly pushing herself to work harder, and it's just a matter of time before all that stress she's under starts affecting her health in a negative way. Number 3. DD Pritchett. A lot of fans are predicting Jay's ex-wife DeDe will be the one to say her goodbyes early, and their arguments make a lot of sense. Even though she's no longer a part of the inner circle, DeDe is pretty much the only supporting player whose death would affect all 3 factions of the family. Her relationship with the rest of the characters is pretty complicated, as they would realize it's too late to fix things if she suddenly passed away. In addition to losing his first wife, Jay could deal with the fact his clock is also ticking, after attending another funeral of someone close to his age. Gloria would regret they never got a chance to find common language after DeDe ruined her wedding day. Claire would probably feel the same way because she never tried to get closer to her mom. Long story short, DeDe's death would require a few episodes of mourning and reflection for several characters who wanted to stay as far away from her as possible while she was still around. Number 2. Pam Tucker. Everyone who's ever watched Modern Family can agree Cameron's sister Pam is a mess. Her restless spirit and complete lack of responsibility make her arc on this show very unpredictable. That's also the reason why everything she does somehow makes sense, no matter how strange it may sound. Whether it's moving to Los Angeles to pursue a career in real people modeling, having a baby with a guy who's in jail for punching a police horse in the face, or ending up in jail yourself, all of her life choices are totally bananas. A majority of the main characters don't have a strong relationship with Pam, but her death would still affect them in a very important way. Cam and Mitch are already taking care of her son Calhoun while she's still serving time, and if anything actually happened to Pam, they would probably end up adopting him. It would mark a new beginning for the whole family, especially the younger characters such as Lily, who would get a new brother, and little Jay, who would have a relative around his age he can play with. Number 1. Frank Dunphy. Phil's dad is suspect number 2, right after Jay, because he has also reached his golden years. A majority of the fans agree killing him off would make the most sense, because this theory perfectly fits into everything the writers have in store. Christopher Lloyd said the early passing of an unspecified character would be a moving event with a multi-episode arc, and fans believe Frank's early goodbye deserves to be explored in a similar fashion. When Phil's mom passed away, everything happened really quickly, as the writers didn't fully explore the effect her death left on the rest of the family. Frank's death couldn't be easily wrapped up in 20-odd minutes because he has a much more complex relationship with the rest of the characters. His passing would crush everyone's spirit and stand as a constant reminder death is all coming for them, especially Jay, who's the same age as Frank. As if that wasn't enough, Phil and his dad already foreshadowed his death by discussing his funeral at the most inappropriate of places, Frank's wedding ceremony. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content, and don't forget to check out one of the other 2 videos on your screen.